We can do it many times.
Vladimir, Christo passed away in 2020, and you make him still be alive through his work. This is a miracle. How do you manage? What do you do precisely?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a miracle. He's an artist. So artists are all miracle makers in a way because they're all alive through their work. With Christo, it's a little different because Christo and Jeanne-Claude had all these projects that they did during their lifetime, and then there were some that they wanted to finish, for us to finish after they were gone. And with the Arc de Triomphe, we did that in 2021, a year after he passed away. Mm-hmm. And we're still working on the Mastaba.
That's the last project which has to be done.
We have some leeway that if projects are by the will, and we have some leeway by the projects that are developed. But the Mastaba is the last permanent project for sure, and it's the only permanent project because
it's
huge. The Mastaba is a permanent project, but also we do a lot exhibitions. We have right now an exhibition with Gagosian.
First, Mastaba, the dimensions are crazy.
Well, they're pretty big. It's 150 meters tall by 225 meters wide by 300 meters long. And by volume, you can fit 2 pyramids of Cheops inside. But humans have built a lot bigger things. It's not like the Mastaba is the biggest thing ever built.
Yeah, but Christo was very strict about the location, about the dimension.
Sure.
So you have not a lot of space.
Well, I'm not an artist to need the space. It's like
how do you qualify yourself?
I don't know. I work for Christo and Jeanne-Claude. They're gone. I still work for them. It's like I've been working with them since I was 17. I've worked with them for 36 years.
36?
36 years, and they've been gone. Christo's been gone in the last 6, and I still work for him.
And so it means that you are negotiating with Abu Dhabi now?
Yes, we're talking with the authorities in Abu Dhabi, and we feel very positive about how things are going. I was just there last week, and it's going very well. I'm very happy about our development. And then we're working on exhibitions.
So let's speak about the exhibition at Gagosian in London.
Well, the exhibition in Gagosian in London was, it's called Christo Air, and it's not an airline. It's it's because Christo and Jeanne-Claude worked a lot with air, and they did a lot of air packages, package on the ceiling, the castle for 1968 in Documenta, the very tall package in Documenta in 1968 in Castle. They did the big air package in Oberhausen.
So the air was used to understand the space.
Yes, the air was used to not only understand the space, also you can interpret it that way for sure. And it's also Christo and Jeanne-Claude are visual artists, so it's something that they want to question your perception even of art, or question your perception of what can be in this particular space. For Castle, for instance, it was the tallest inflatable structure at the time, and they used the highest cranes in Europe to erect it in a way, because they first tried to use helium, because helium is a lighter gas, but the helium escaped through the seams. And there was even one article that were humorously were joking that Christo couldn't get it up because it's a very phallic looking work of art. But
what about Gagosian London? What are we supposed to see?
Well, the Gagosian in London, it's a lot of these preparatory studies for these works that use air, and also inspired by one scale model, we recreated the scale model in the ceiling. So the ceiling is basically, it's called wrapped ceiling. And package on a ceiling.
There are things to sell there.
Well, of course, it's a commercial gallery.
So it's drawing to sell.
It's drawings. The drawings and scale models are for sale. And we also have a wrapped Volvo, which is, you remember, you were there in Basel when we had the wrapped Volkswagen Beetle?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a wrapped Volvo that was done in the early 80s. And so the wrap Volvo was is there. It's in very good condition. It looks fantastic. So we have the wrap Volvo in one of the rooms of the gallery, and we have a lot of preparatory studies and drawings, which are of the packages with air or wrapped ceiling or package on the ceiling or big air package or the castle project, the Minneapolis project, and all these things. So we have a lot of that, and that actually is kind of related to the project of the cavern by JR because the cavern also uses air. You know, when we initially because JR
what is the genesis of this project?
Well, last year we had, well, it was actually, last year we had 3 big anniversaries of projects. It was the 20th anniversary of the Gates, the 30th anniversary of the Wrapped Reichstag, and the 40th anniversary of the Pont Neuf.
You are very birthday oriented.
Well, it gives us an excuse to celebrate and commemorate. You know,
Yes.
that's how we keep Christo and Jeanne-Claude alive.
Exactly.
You know, because we have something to do. Like we can also do it for no reason, but this is kind of like giving your lady flowers on her birthday. You know, so it's easier. You know, so what happened was that. The year before that, we were discussing what we can do, and in New York for the Gates, we did an AR with Bloomberg Connects in the park, where you can put your phone and see the gates where they were for a section of the gates, and it was very successful. And also an exhibition at the shed of the gates. And then for the Wrapped Reichstag, we did a mapping on the Reichstag with a projection with a friend artist who did the mapping, Anna Bacheva. And she organized like a big projection, and we did that. We got the permission from the Reichstag to do that. And then for the Pont Neuf, I was thinking of what can we do. And then I know JR for 15 years, and I suggested to him to like, why don't you do something on the Pont Neuf? Because you're like as a homage to Christo and Jeanne-Claude and by their inspiration. And of course, he's an artist, so he can do whatever he wants. It wasn't like us asking him what to do. And then what happened was he loved the idea. He said, I would have never dared. This is so flattering. It's so nice. And then and why JR in a way for me was because actually I do not know another artist today, and maybe you can tell me, that does public art installations in public spaces that is not commissioned by somebody. It's not commissioned by the government. It's not commissioned by a museum. It's not commissioned by anybody else. And I don't know any other artist that does that has this conviction and this drive to do this in that way. And so this was very much in the spirit of Christo and Jeanne-Claude because it's completely independent from anybody else, and and this was important for us. And so he loved the idea, and then he came up with the idea to do the cavern. Initially, they wanted to do it with scaffolding, but it would have cost too much, taken too much time because it's.
But the cavern, how is it linked to Christo?
No, it's the Pont Neuf is the cling of Christo. Everything else is an artist interpretation. It doesn't have to cling.
It's just a celebration.
It's the celebration because the interesting thing is why Christo said, when people ask why Christo and Jeanne-Claude liked the Pont Neuf so much, and Christo always said, you know, the Pont Neuf, since it was built, it was the first bridge in Paris that was free. You didn't have to pay through it. It was like it became the first. It's called the new bridge, but it's the oldest bridge.
Yes.
And it's. And the Pont Neuf was the first free bridge that developed the city to go in that using the bridge in that direction. And what was interesting is that the Pont Neuf was, after it was built, it became like every artist wanted to paint the Pont Neuf. It was like there were so many paintings of the Pont Neuf because they were easy to sell. It was like selling the toys of the Eiffel Tower today. You know, it's like everybody wanted to have the Pont Neuf. And apparently, according to Christo, I don't know if it's true, you're the art historian and know more about it, but there was even a saying saying that don't be a Pont Neuf artist, meaning that you paint something that is easy to sell, becoming a very commercial artist. Because it was just, you paint the Pont Neuf, it was easy to sell. And through these centuries, the Pont Neuf was a subject of art. No, it was, that bridge was a subject of art. But in September of 1985, the Pont Neuf became an object of art, which is the big difference. And I think, and this connection to the bridge, and also now, as the square around the statue of the Henry IV is called the Place de Pont Neuf, Christo and Jeanne-Claude. It has a big plaque on it now. The city did this. Yes, very beautiful. And big honor.
So what is
that's how we also keep them alive,
Exactly. So since when is the plaque?
Since October 3rd.
This October?
Yeah.
Last October?
Last October, yeah.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
I will write it too.
Yeah.
And what is your intervention in this project? Not much.
No. We talked to JR when actually I was telling you the story about the scaffolding and then I said to JR is like, but scaffolding takes.
And you participated to the negotiation?
No.
No.
This was no. I meant one-to-one meeting. We also, a lot of the team that we worked on the Arc de Triomphe is working on this project because I suggested him people that we did the project with. We have the experience. But I always joke, I'm like a grandparent on this project. I have all the fun without any responsibility.
Yeah, this is cool
yeah,
for once.
It's very nice to just enjoy and like be there, but I'm not like involved on the day-to-day. But initially when they were conceiving the concept and they wanted to use scaffolding, it would have taken too long and be too expensive because it's a lot of scaffolding to build. And I suggested to JR to use air because Christo had all these air projects. So that's how it kind of connects to the exhibition.
But we don't know where the air project, huh?
Well, because most of them were done in Germany or in the United States. They were never done in France. In Germany, they know because the castle, it was a long time ago. 1968 is a long time ago.
And it was the ghetto for the contemporary specialists.
Yes, and it was exactly. And then in the big air package was in Oberhausen in 2012 or 13, I forgot. And so that was a very tall, like 90-meter structure by 50-meter diameter, beautiful. But that one you can go inside, and it looked like a Turrell when you look up, but a Turrell that was a real thing, not like a trompe-l'oeil in a way. Not. It was the real package that you can look, and the shades moved. I'll show you pictures after you can see.
And so now, what are the next step to keep on Christo alive?
Well, these are the steps, and the next step might be a surprise. I don't know.
Yes, of course you know. Tell us a bit.
No. We are working on the master base. The one thing that is very important for us.
So you are organizing a show?
Well, no, the show is at the Gagosian. Now we're just working on.
No, it's a show about Mastaba.
No, not yet. Maybe that will come too, but not yet.
Okay, so you have nothing to declare? Nothing
well,
else?
More than the Cavern and the Gagosian show in London, it's, come on. It's,
and also there was something in Qatar, huh? That you were showing.
No, Qatar was in Qatar during the Basel Art Fair, yeah. Gagosian, because it was a beautiful fair, huh? Because one artist per gallery was, it made it look and all the galleries brought very museum quality works. So, and it was one artist per gallery, so it looked really very, almost curated. I don't like that word, but it's like, it looked very good. And Gagosian had Christo as the artist in the gallery, so we had some early works in Qatar at the fair at their booth. So, we're very busy and a lot of things are happening.
And what is your official title?
My official title is Director of Projects for Christo and Jeanne-Claude Foundation.
And the foundation is American?
The foundation is American. And we also have a separate foundation, which I'm the executive director of, which is the Mastaba Foundation, which is a separate foundation. For every project that Christo and Jeanne-Claude did, we had a separate company or a foundation for the project. It's usually a company.
Do you know how many drawings he made for Mastaba?
Not exactly.
And you know the corpus of his work of drawing, how large it is?
I haven't counted them, but I know
it's huge.
It's huge. No, but Lorenza in New York, who is she's working on the catalog raisonné, which they're starting to. It's a long work, The catalog raisonné takes 15-20 years usually to do. So she's starting to on that. So this is like once we're done, I can tell you in 20 years.
20 years?
Well, usually a catalog resonate takes a very long time. Huh?
Yeah.
It's not like maybe not 20, but at least 10 or 15. We don't know. It's a long process to do
But
the catalog
Christo
resonate.
was drawing every day.
Every day. Whenever he was not working on a project, because he only drew in his studio in New York. You know, if we travel for work, he wouldn't like draw in his hotel room. You know, it was not something, he just did that in the studio. So whenever we had a project, and because he also never drew after the project was finished, he never drew the same project. You know, so for the Pont Neuf, all the drawings are up to 85. He never did a Pont Neuf drawing after it was finished.
Okay.
So he was always, even when we were working, for instance, on let's say on Lago di Iseo project, because there are not that many works of the Lago di Iseo project, because it only took 2 years, you know, from conception to execution. So he had only 2 years to work. So I moved to Italy almost a year before the project was completed, and then he would come, but then until the very last moment he would go back to New York because he wanted to draw and make more drawings. So
I interviewed him in Fondation Mac just
before,
that.
that was
It
just
was
before. I
great.
remember it was great.
The
It was
interview
a great
was-
exhibition.
And the interview was fantastic.
Yeah, he was very good.
Super.
Yeah, and then it was a very beautiful exhibition at the Fondation Mac
Very
about
good.
the barons.
It was, in fact,
Barons.
it was tiny.
Tiny, well,
but
but use the
efficient.
whole space of the Fondation Mac, so there
The
can't be
Fondation,
big.
yes, the space, the yard.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. And then that exhibition actually went, and it was at the Serpentine in London. Yeah, that's when we did the mastaba in the Serpentine, like
Exactly.
the floating mastaba.
Bon, merci, monsieur.
My pleasure.